Well, that's all right. We can always do it anytime it's convenient for you. And I saw that you were in for maintenance here in September, no, October. Yeah, October 4th. So you got about 5 months here before you're due again. But when you come back in next time, just let us know. We'll pop it in there for you. All righty. Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling us on the program this morning. Sorry I didn't get to you on the air here. Gotcha. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me, and we're glad to be in Omaha too. We're glad to be in Lincoln, and we're hoping that if everything goes well, we'll be in Des Moines here by this time next year. So we'll see what we can pull off. Well, thank you very much. I gotta jump into the AfterSchrock here real quick, so I gotta let you go. But give us a call back in Omaha because your warranty, like I said, your warranty is up in December, and you didn't use it, so you get a refund. So give us a call there. We'll refund it, and we'll get you set up with another one. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry about that, guys. I thought, that'll be a quick call. I had somebody I couldn't get to. They were on hold. So, all right, welcome into the AfterSchrock. So this is where we get to talk about stuff that didn't quite fit on the show. So I guess, I don't know. What do you guys think? This is the new 20th anniversary logo, and I'm of the opinion that I'm gaining weight irregularly, okay? I don't think the shirt logo is, well, maybe it is a little crooked. I don't know. Either my chest is crooked or the logo is crooked. So the volume is too hot. I don't know if I can turn the volume down on the camera. So the lovely Kimberly says I'm too loud. I could just be yelling. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm shouting. So let me see if I can lower the level of this volume here a little bit. All right, how about that? There we go. There we go. Okay, and now she confirms. Now, see, that feels a little low. Can everybody hear me okay, or is that too low? I don't know. I'll keep going. If it's too low, let me know and I'll turn it up. So yes, they're all crooked, she says. They're all crooked. Oh boy. All right, well, I guess, we get some extra shirts, All right, sound is bad. Okay, how bad? Is it too low? Is it too hot? What's bad? Oh, you know what? I bet he's listening to the beginning while I was on the phone. And so he thinks that he can't hear what's going on with the caller because that caller was from the radio show, and I didn't want to wait too long before I jumped back into the AfterSchrock because, people will forget that, we're here basically, or try to find it and say, I can't find it, and then they just give up. But anyway, so fun thing. So I don't know if any of you went out for Halloween or anything, but so my son he's 12. He's too cool for school. He's not going to do Halloween this year. He's going to stay home and hand out candy. So then he finds out that his scout troop, though, is having costume night, and I want to go to costume night. So he drags my poor wife out the day before Halloween to go try to find a Halloween costume. So he comes up with his own idea that he decides he's going to be Donald Trump for Halloween. And we're looking at him like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, you're going to either, some people are going to give you toothbrushes and some people are going to give you whole candy bars. And if there's not going to be anyone in the middle giving you Tootsie Rolls and Smarties, it's going to be one or the other. That's how this works. So he says, no, I want to be Donald Trump. So he gets this giant Donald Trump head. It's a cardboard head with a strap that goes around the back of your head. And he puts on a blue blazer that's just a hair too tight and a tie that's just a hair too long. And he puts on his khaki slacks, and he's Donald Trump. And so it's mildly humorous. All right, no problem with the sound here in Iowa. All right, it sounds good in Iowa. All right, so I have to scroll down to see all these. Okay. Schrock should be more prominent in the logo. Well, these are shirts. I mean, if you're seeing this shirt, that means you're already at Schrock. So we thought the 20th anniversary is the big deal. So my son decides he's going to be Donald Trump for Halloween. He's got the face, and he's like, something's missing. I need something more. Something more. But I feel like I should be carrying something, but Donald Trump doesn't really carry anything. He's like, wait, I know. And he takes his little homeschool brain, and he goes upstairs, and he gets a trifold poster board, and he starts drawing bricks on it, and he writes The Wall. And he starts carrying this around with him in front of him everywhere he goes. Now, okay, I'm sorry, that was kind of funny. So we're like, oh boy, and you're going to go to Scout Night. Oh boy, it's a Christian troop. I mean, it should be okay. No one's gonna openly like punch him in the face or anything. Okay. Are you sure you want to go trick or treating as Donald Trump? Okay. So then he's like, hey, check this out. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this game called Fortnite. It's really, really popular with all the kids right now. And the characters, while they're waiting for the round to start, basically, everybody gets into what's effectively a lobby, and they wait for everybody else to join. And while they're waiting, they have dances they can do there. They can make their character do little dances. So my son, of course, all the kids, they all know all the dances, and they practice them. They're doing the dances, in real life downstairs or whatever on the Xbox, whatever they're doing. So then he decides he's going to be Donald Trump with a big Donald Trump head doing Fortnite dances. So he's flossing. If you don't know what the floss is, Google flossing, okay? Not flossing your teeth, but the dance, flossing. And then imagine a giant Donald Trump head flossing. It was absolutely hilarious. I almost spit my dinner out. It was like, oh my gosh, that right there is funny. And he's like, yeah, you know what I'm going to do, Dad? When kids come to the door, I'm going to open the door and they're going to say trick or treat. And I'm going to lean over and I'm going to look at them and I'm going to like, you're fired. And I'm going to shut the door. Like, Jake, that could be kind of mean. So then he's giving out candy and he's doing his bit or whatever, having fun with it. And he takes off the face and he's like, okay, trick or treat, giving the kids candy. And for the first time ever, my wife's like, oh my gosh. Did you see that girl check our son out? What is that? And he's wearing a Donald Trump costume. He's getting checked out by girls now? Oh my gosh, he's 12. Come on. And he was completely oblivious. He had no idea. We're like, thank you. But anyway, so yeah, if you guys did anything for Halloween, feel free to share your costumes. Are you dressed up as anything? He should go to 88 Tactical for some defense classes before he goes out like that. Well, actually, Thomas, I took my friend Alfonso. Alfonso runs our Schrock Interactive division, and his son, he wanted to go shooting. And he see this is stuff that doesn't fit during the show, guys, but it's interesting to some people, I guess. I don't know. If it's not interesting, I'll see the numbers of people watching start to drop, and I'll stop. But he wanted to go shooting, and so I'm like, okay. And at first I was like, oh, this will be fun. We can lay out, different weapons and he can pick the ones he wants to go shoot. And then I'm like, no, he's never shot before. So any kid, he's going to go pick the biggest, nastiest gun he can find and he's going to go shoot it. And he's going to get punched in the shoulder or hurt himself. And it's not going to be fun, be too loud. It'll scare him. And then he won't have fun. And that's the big thing. We're here to have fun and make sure nobody gets hurt. So, okay. So I bring him the .22 long rifle pistol. Staple. It's like a firecracker. It doesn't kick at all. It goes crack, crack, crack. That's it. It's fun to shoot. It's a plinker. And then I take a .380, which is like the next step up, then a 9mm, which is the next step up, and then I have my .40 carry that I've got. And so, okay, so we take this all to the range. And so I start him off. I'm giving him all the safety, keep it pointed down range. We go through all the safety stuff, and then he goes and shoots. And the kid is like dead on accurate with the .22. And it was only like 8 feet. Because, I didn't want to make it a long thing. I wanted him to build some confidence. So we pushed it 8 feet out. And, we gave him the bowling pin. If you've ever done a concealed carry course, we get the bowling pin. So he was shooting at the bowling pin. And he shoot at that target, that target, that target. He was hitting everything. So we moved him up to the .380. And that kicks a little bit. And it's a little louder. So the first shot was a little weird. And then after that, just great. I'm like, wow, this kid's like a natural. So we move him up to the 9mm, and I'm like, okay, this is where the kid's going to max out. I didn't think he'd make it this far because he's 12, right? And he's 12 years old, and the 9mm's got a little bit of kick to it, especially because I gave him an LC9, which is what a lot of police officers like to use as backup pistols. So it's a tiny little 9mm. It's like this big, so it's going to buck a little bit more than a full-size 9mm, but his hand is small, so it fit his hand better. So he's shooting the LC9, just bang, bang. I'm not even accurate with the LC9. Like, that thing is a terrible pistol. I hate that thing. That's why I let little kids shoot it when I take them shooting. It's like, go drop it in the mud. I don't care. But no, so he shoots that. He's great. So then finally I'm like, all right, how did that feel? He's like, no, that was fun. So I'm like, okay, so here's my .40. That's going to kick a lot harder. It's a full-size metal pistol. Well, again, it's compact size. It's not full size. It's a 4.5-inch barrel. It's a metal gun though. And so you can shoot that if you want to, okay? But it's going to kick harder. So shoot one time, pause, and then tell me how you're doing, okay? So he picks it up and he shoots it, and he pauses. He goes, "Oh, it's great." Then he shoots and he's just on target, like it's no big deal. And I'm like, hey, Alfonso, he's never shot before in his life? No, never. He's taking pictures of it, like to show his wife. This is amazing. And so then I'm like, okay, so I lay all the weapons out, and I'm like, okay, of the ones that you shot today, we have more ammunition. We can finish our time here on the range shooting whichever one you want to shoot. Which one did you enjoy shooting the most? And of course, he picked the biggest, nastiest. He took the 40, and he put like $100 of ammo downrange on it. And he did great. He was responsible with it. He looks at me and he goes, I want to shoot it as fast as I can. I understand that, son. We've all had that urge from time to time at the range, but you have to remember there are people around you on the range, and shooting a weapon as fast as you can also sound like shooting out of control. So you can double tap. You can shoot two, bang bang, and then you pause, and then bang bang, and you can do bang bang pause bang bang as fast as you want, but you can't just willy nilly crazy pull the trigger. And he followed directions to the letter, and the range officer heard the bang bang and he was looking over like, what just happened over there? So I'm really glad I didn't let him just like, sure, kiddo, just go to town there. Great. So then as like the icing on the cake, because I really brought this just for me and Alfonso, but I brought my AR-15. So I was like, okay, here's the AR-15. And so Alfonso and I are going to shoot this, but he did so good with the 40. I'm like, it doesn't kick that hard. You want to shoot an AR-15? And he was like, and so we let him shoot that, and he did great. He did so good. I was so proud of him. But yeah, he had a great first experience. Nobody got hurt. Nobody even got a pinch. It was great. Everything went great. The weapons all performed wonderfully. Not a lot of jams, except the 22 misfired a couple times, but that's good. You want to train him on a 22 how to clear a jam and things like that. So it went really well. So again, this is way off from computer stuff, but so yes, Thomas, 88 tactical training. Jacob has had his share of 88 tactical training. I think he got a 22 rifle for Christmas last year or the year before. So yeah, so in the service center this week, what other crazy stuff did I see? I don't know if you saw this picture. We had a picture up on our Facebook page of we had a Mac on the bench a week or two ago that I don't know. I think what happened is we had a bunch of tools on a flash drive, but it also was a flash drive that had the 1809 update on it. And so when we plugged the flash drive into the Mac to use the tools on it, we plugged it in, we turned the Mac on and walked away. And the Mac booted from the flash drive like it was going to install the 1809 update. But it said, oh, sorry, we can't, something's wrong here. We can't do this right. And it had a Windows error message on the Mac screen. And we posted that up on Facebook like, what's wrong with this picture? But yeah, my wife checked her iPhone to see if it was throttling. Oh yeah, I said I was going to post that. Let me get that up here. Check iPhone battery health. There is a way to do that in iOS 12. Okay, that's 11.3, but the process is the same. They introduced this process in 11.3 after everybody got upset about the iPhone throttling. But on your iPhone, you can follow the procedures on that link, and you can actually check to see if your iPhone is being throttled right now. So here's the thing. People don't understand batteries don't last forever. So batteries are good for, an Apple battery is good for approximately 500 charge-recharge cycles. A charge-recharge cycle is defined as any time the battery drops below 50% health. So if you get down to 40% health and you charge it up, that's a charge-recharge. If you drop it down to 80% and you charge it back up, that doesn't count. But anytime it drops down below 80% or below 50% and back up again is a charge-recharge. And Apple says after 500 charge-recharge cycles, your battery should still be performing at 80% capacity. So within the normal expected wear and tear, you're going to lose 20% of your battery's capacity within the first 500 charge recharge cycles. So assuming you do one charge recharge cycle a day, just assuming that's 365 a year. Now, on the other hand, if you use your phone for more intensive stuff like photography and things like that, you might do multiple charge recharge cycles a day. And if that's the case, you're going to get there within a year. So some people who have iPhone X's that are about a year old are now to the point where Apple is starting to throttle back those processors because the battery has dropped below 80% capacity. How do you fix this? You get a new battery put in your phone, which is great, easy peasy, right? Guess what Apple is doing now? I don't have word yet if they're doing it on the phones yet, but I know they're doing it on all the 2019, all the new MacBooks, all the new Apple products. All the parts inside the Mac are keyed to work together from a security perspective. So if you come in and you need us to replace a screen on your 2019 Apple product, we can't do it. Because if we replace the screen, the new one won't work because it doesn't have the same security tag. And Apple has a tool, of course, that only Apple has that will reset the security tags for you.
But keep in mind that Apple refuses to work on any product that's 2 years old or older. So what that means is if you have an Apple product that's over 2 years old and something breaks, you have to buy a new Apple product. Period. End of story. One of the stories we didn't get to is Apple, and I didn't want to make that. There was a lot of Apple stuff in the show today, so I didn't want to go too Apple heavy on it because a lot of it was negative, and a lot of Apple makes a good product. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking them, but there is this thing called the Apple tax, and the Apple tax, it's not a tax exactly. What it is when you buy a computer, a PC, you get the latest technology at a pretty reasonable price. When you buy a Mac right now, before this refresh, you're getting 2 or 3 year old technology that you're paying a premium for. That premium that you're paying for the same thing you can buy in a PC for less is called the Apple tax. And people are willing to pay the Apple tax because they like the Apple products. If you have everything Apple, if you have a Mac and an iPhone and an iPad, they all just work together. It's all seamless. It's beautiful. And Apple does a really good job of unifying that. What they don't do a good job of is doing anything nice for PC users. There's this definite divide in the Apple camp where you don't have a right to repair your product anymore. If your Apple product breaks, you can't fix it. We have prohibited you from fixing it. Unless, of course, you go to an authorized Apple reseller, and we only allow authorized Apple resellers to fix things for 2 years. Of course, it's because of parts availability, you see. Because Apple won't use aftermarket parts. They will only use Apple certified parts, which, okay, great. You pay 3 times more for the Apple certified part, whereas the same factory that makes the Apple certified part makes the non-Apple certified part that you pay 1/3 the price for. And it's the same part. And you can get them freely everywhere. So it's very frustrating for repair shops because literally you're trying to put us out of business here. And then if you've ever tried to have anything fixed at the Apple store, you have to make an appointment ahead of time. So when your computer breaks, you know, we offer same day, next day service. We have a customer in our Papillion Service Center who needed a screen and a bezel replaced on her computer. We had to order those parts from different places, and it took a week and a half to get the parts here. And of course, USPS delivery, they say it's going to be there on a certain date, and it ain't. So it wasn't. We didn't get the part yesterday that we were supposed to get. And the customer is rightfully upset with us that we said it would be ready by a certain date, and it's not. And it's, you know, we understand it's not our fault. It's not like we're being lazy or not putting the part in. We don't have the part because it didn't get here in time. So customers have an expectation of Schrock for same day, next day repair, because that's what I say on the radio. And then if we have to order a part, people understand that takes a few days extra, but a week? Come on now, I haven't had my computer for a week. Now compare that to the experience of checking into an Apple store, where if you have to make an appointment for your Apple computer, you make the appointment and the appointment is 1 week from the date you made it. Then you go in and you sit down, and if it's a situation like this, if your Mac is 2 years old, they'll just tell you, sorry, we can't fix it. Now you waited a week to go in to be told they can't fix your Mac. Oh, but you can buy a new one for $5,000 over here, or you can buy the exact same computer at Schrock for $14.99. It just runs Windows instead. So Apple, the divide between Windows, among Apple, another example, had a customer who upgraded to 1809, and Apple has not updated iTunes to work with 1809 yet. She uses iCloud to synchronize her calendar from her Apple devices to her Microsoft Outlook. And if you have everything Mac, it all just works. It works seamlessly. It's beautiful. But if you throw a PC in the mix, the software hasn't been updated yet. Because Apple says officially Microsoft's current version of Windows 10 is now 1803 again. So yes, they pushed out 1809 and they rolled it back. Your software works fine on 1809. It's not a problem of compatibility. There's a line of code in your software that says check to see if the operating system is supported. What operating systems are supported? Windows 1803 or older. Windows 1809 is greater than 1803, therefore not supported. Error message, your software is not supported. All they have to do is change the 4 numbers to say 1809 and re-release it. And they don't do it. Why? Might be because you're running it on a PC and they would really prefer that you run it on a Mac. Just saying. All right, so this is the time when I ask you guys for questions. I haven't seen a whole lot of activity here, so if you have any questions about things that I didn't get to on the program, now's the time you can ask them. We can answer them here in the AfterSchrock. It doesn't have to be questions about computers. It can be anything that suits your fancy. Excuse me. So yeah, if you have questions about Halloween costumes, Questions about anything along those lines, we're happy to answer them for you. The holiday special laptop and desktop is available for purchase at this time. We do not have the specifications on the website yet because it's technically not officially released. But for those of you who are listening to the AfterSchrock, you guys are some of our most dedicated listeners. It's available. You can get it now if you want to. In fact, if you're thinking about a holiday special laptop, Dell is running exactly 21 business days right now for us to get the laptop from Dell. So we have started to pre-order a few so that we have a constant stream coming in. If you want to get one and not have to wait 3.5, 4 weeks for it, you might want to call and purchase that now. One of the cool things is we're going to be doing something special. We're not sure what it is yet, but we're going to be doing something special for people who purchase before the end of November. Just something to keep in mind. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be yet because we try to find something that works for both the laptop and the desktop. So it's hard because the laptop is so much different. So on the desktop, for example, the desktop comes with a 500 gig solid state. We're thinking about saying a free upgrade to a 1 terabyte if you buy the desktop before the end of November. But the laptop comes with the 500 gig hard drive in it, and upgrading that to a terabyte would make it, because we have to buy the laptop from Dell, would price it over $14.99. So we can't do that on the laptop the same way we can on the desktop. So we're not exactly sure what we're going to do on the desktop there, but or on the laptop, but we'll figure it out here in the next week. All right, let's see here. What's your opinion on most public schools that provide Apple laptops for students rather than PCs in Iowa? Okay, so Apple has a long history of working hand in glove with educational institutions. They provide educational institutions with amazing support. They provide educational institutions with a hardware and software ecosystem where everything just works. So you don't have this problem of like, oh, hey, this version of Windows 10 isn't compatible with that. You know, when it comes to schools, as long as the schools purchase the hardware the way they're supposed to, which they get discounted hardware as well, they don't pay the Apple tax, if you will. Everything stays current, and then you're exposing kids in educational environments to Apple products throughout their entire childhood. When they get to adulthood, the hope is that they will take their own money and purchase Apple products. Well, you've heard the adage, if you're young and you don't have a heart, if you're young and you don't have a heart, gosh, how does this go? I don't want to get it wrong now. Oh my gosh. Basically, it's saying if you're young, you're a liberal. And if you're old, you're a conservative. Because once it becomes your money that you're spending, you realize that spending 3 times the cost on a laptop that this other one will do just the same stuff, and the software is all cheaper for it, and it's compatible with everything else at work, because businesses don't spend money unnecessarily on computers they don't need to spend money on, so nobody has Macs at work because they're expensive. Now, there are exceptions if you're in graphic design or creative services, or you're in an artsy-fartsy business with a really high profit margin. You'll have Macs. But most other places, most businesses have PCs. And the reason for that is they're cost effective to operate. So how do I feel about it? You know, honestly, anything that gets kids in front of computers and teaches them how to use the technology, I'm for. You know, I grew up on Apples, and I have PCs now. My wife has an iPhone. I had a MacBook for a while. We've got Apples in all the shops. I have to know how to work those because we have customers that come in. You know, Apple computers are affected by the same slowdowns that PCs are with these processor vulnerabilities. Their processors got updated too, and as a result, they're running slower. We had a lady came in with a MacBook Pro that was like 4 years old, just running terribly slow. We upgraded it to a solid state. It was as fast as a brand new Mac, and she was like, "This is." And for a normal PC user, we're saying, hey, the difference is like $300 to do the solid state versus $700 for a new computer. You could save $400. There are people who could still rationally say, yeah, but this thing's pretty old. Maybe I should just buy a new one. But when you're talking about $300 in a Mac versus $2,500 for a new Mac, the decision is a no-brainer. Seriously. So how do I feel about it? I'm fine with it. I mean, Apples are great computers. They work well. They do the job. They get it done. We can run endpoint. We can secure an Apple computer just like we can secure a PC. There's no reason not to run Mac if you want to run Mac. I prefer PC because it's cost effective, it's affordable, it has better performance than the Macs do because the technology is newer, gets updated more frequently because there's more competition. No one's competing for Mac's business aside from PC. You can't get the Apple operating system on other device. You have to buy a Mac. And Apple honestly doesn't care about the Macs right now. They're going to the point where I saw an article on ZDNet the other day that said the new iPad Pro is faster than his MacBook. It's more capable than a MacBook. And the push there being you should start doing everything on an iPad and basing everything in the cloud. And that's where Apple wants to go. They want to get away from the computer side of things. Will it work? I don't know. I think personally there's some things that are better done on a computer than a tablet, but that's just me. All right, let's see. If I bring in a solid state from home, how much just to clone it to the mechanic? If you bring in your own solid state, Thomas, we're happy to put it into the computer for you. It'd still be an hour of labor, same price, as long as the solid state is healthy and your original drive is healthy. We'll test them for you. If they're both healthy, it's an hour of labor, $110, and we'll get them put in for you. Got a new computer, old one died. Can I transfer security software to it? Also have external backup that you sold me and set up. What do I have to do to set these on the laptop? Okay, so Todd, if you have Endpoint or Secure Updater, you can absolutely transfer those to the new computer. We'll do that for you. Just give us a call in the service center and we'll do a Schrock desk to remote in and make that transfer happen, as well as get the software officially disassociated with the dead computer. We can do all that for you. As far as the backup drive, while we're remoted in doing that, have that backup drive plugged in, and we can format that and set it up as a backup on the laptop for you too. So we can do it all over the Schrock desk, basically, is what I'm getting at. One of the things when you buy a Schrock modular backup drive, we set up the backup for you because if your hard drive ever dies, if you have one of our backup drives, we'll restore your files for free to your repaired computer. So let us do the backup, and we make sure it's get done right, and then we can get it all restored for you. Okay. Yeah, and Keith, you are right. The security software won't technically transfer. We have to uninstall it from the old computer and install it on the new computer. Since the old computer is broken, we'll just administratively remove it on our end and get it installed on the new computer. That's why we have to Schrock desk in. All right. You have music blocking your voice. No music here. No music here. Don, are you hearing voices? Don is the customer I was on the phone with before the AfterSchrock started. So that was kind of funny. When Don started watching the AfterSchrock, he was watching me talk to Don. No, and so Don, the reason that Don was calling actually was he got the robocall for that his 2013 holiday special warranty was expiring this December, and that we may owe him money. So he called back, and basically what we figured out was he did not have a warranty claim, so we owe him the $125 back. Because with our extended warranties, if you don't use those warranties, we refund them back to you. So we're going to give him a refund for $125 when he calls in today. He's going to probably take that $125 and buy another year warranty on his holiday special, keep that train moving, so that he's able to get everything. Oh, there's music. Pipe organ? There you go. No, that's probably not what Don heard. Don, I think you just had another app going in the phone in the background there. But anyway, that's how the extended warranties work at Schrock. And that's one of the reasons why they're so popular. You know, of all the things that we have to fight for, those warranties, no one in our accounting understands why we do that. Because financially it makes no sense. Basically a warranty is an insurance policy. And so with any insurance policy, if you either pay out or you refund the policy premium, that's a recipe to go out of business. And what they're not understanding with our accounting firm is that when you buy a computer from Schrock, you know, we don't sell as many computers as Best Buy guys. We're not the mart. You know, we're not selling thousands of PCs a week. You know, the customers that we sell computers to, we have a bond with those customers that goes deeper than what these other stores have with their customers, primarily because of numbers. They just can't, you know, have that personal bond with all thousands of these people. But you're trusting us to provide you with technology that's going to serve you for the next 5 years. And we take that really seriously. So we're going to put a warranty on that computer, and we're going to offer you an extended warranty. Now, there are two types of people in the world. There's people who buy warranties and there's people who don't. If you're one of those people that doesn't buy extended warranties, there's nothing I can say to you that's going to have you buy a warranty. But with that said, the way our extended warranties work is when you buy the computer, it's a little cheaper to put the warranty on at $99 a year, but you can do it after the fact for $125 if you want. So you buy the extended warranty on the computer, and then once you purchase the extended warranty, if you don't use the warranty, we refund the money back to you. The reason we do this is I don't want there to ever, ever, ever be a reason for you to take that Schrock modular computer anywhere else to have it serviced. Now, here's the thing. Our modular design is so open and easily serviced that anyone anywhere can service it. We have customers who are snowbirds who go down to Arizona. They have to take their computer in for a repair because they're in Arizona. Hey, we get it. You're in Arizona. And they'll have it fixed in Arizona. Or they'll have us ship the parts to the shop under warranty so they can fix it in Arizona. Um, Totally understandable. That I get it. With that said, though, I don't want to give you if let's say there's somebody that makes a mistake and there's a bad service experience. The customer that I talked about that I worked with on the phone over the Schrock desk, apparently he was trying to get a hold of me for several months, and he was unable to get through the filters that were in place. And I do the radio show, guys. I get hundreds of calls a day. People who think they have to talk to me to get their computer problem fixed because I'm the guy on the radio and I'm the only one who can help them. That's why I make such a point of taking those calls on the air of people who are talking about how great the staff is, because honestly, they're better technicians than me, guys. I'm splitting my time doing all the businessy stuff and the marketing stuff, and then I get in and get some computer repair done because I have to stay on the bench, because if I don't work on the bench, I don't stay current, and I can't answer your questions on the air about your computer problems. So I've got to stay current with this stuff. But I'm learning every day I'm there, just like you are. And so as a result, if you have the opportunity to work with Eli or Kane in Lincoln, or Kyle or Brian in Omaha, or Jacob or Parker in Papillion, if you have the opportunity to work with those guys, you're going to have a great experience because they actually know more than me. Now, their presentation might not be as good, but what can you do? You can't have it all. So anyway, so long and the short of it is, if something bad would happen that would cause you to pause and think, should I really be using Schrock as my computer provider? That warranty is there as like a catch-all. It's like, well, they're going to fix it for free. I may as well take it back to them. And it gives them the opportunity to come in and say, hey, I had a bad experience last time, and it gives us one more chance to make it right. On the flip side, when we sell a computer, the modular computers, we use parts that we know are going to last. We can buy cheaper parts. I can get the BioStar motherboards. I can get the cheap value RAM and save like $4 or $5 a computer. We could get the cheaper card readers and save $5 a build on a card reader. Man, those things are like $10 a piece. It costs. They're stupid expensive for nothing. I can get the what's another thing? We can get the lower wattage power supply, and I can save $20 a build on that. I can shave a good $50 or $60 off the overhead cost of that computer and give you a computer for the first year that should work exactly the same. But then after that, you're going to start having problems. So by offering extended warranties that are refundable, what we're saying to our customers is we believe in the hardware we're selling you because we're not selling you cheap crap. We're selling you the good hardware that's going to last, because we wouldn't put a refundable warranty on it if we thought it was going to break. Ford sells me a new F-150. They don't give me a refundable warranty. They don't think it's going to break, but their accounting people are like, cars break, man, it happens. Computers break, man, it happens. So yes, even if we buy the good parts, 5, 6, 8 years later, they're going to wear out. That's why people like Don are going to buy that extended warranty and flip it. They're going to not use it. I didn't use it this year. I'm going to get my refund, and then I'd like to buy another warranty, please. And they'll just keep flipping it. So if you have a Schrock computer that is not under warranty, you can get your warranty extended. If you've had a maintenance checkup within the last 90 days, where we can extend the warranty sight unseen. We can do it right over the phone. If you, on the other hand, have not had maintenance in a while, you have to come in for a maintenance checkup so we can check everything out, make sure it's healthy before we can put the warranty on it. Common sense stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's part of the Schrock service difference. That's one of the reasons we've been around for 20 years. Because when we sell people computers, we don't sell garbage. We don't do Black Friday. I was like, I'm going to ask people, hey, what are you going to do? Are you going to go out on Black Friday? We're going to start talking about that. I didn't get a chance to talk about how crappy Chromebooks are. Those are on everybody's Black Friday ad. You can get a laptop for $79. It's a Chromebook. It doesn't even run Windows. You can't do anything with it. You can't do anything without the internet on it. And even with the internet, you're restricted to Google stuff. You can only run Google Docs, Google Sheets. You're buying a laptop that literally slaves you completely to Google so they can watch everything you do. Everything you do. You can't run your own email program on it. You have to use Gmail because there is no email program for the Chromebook. I mean, it's made by Google for Google. I mean, that's exactly what it is. And you can get them really cheap, and they look really pretty. They just don't do anything. So, and if you take them on the road, you're in real trouble. So anyway, I didn't even get to that. I just did, I guess, though, didn't I? But so I guess last call for questions, guys. It's getting kind of late here. I got to get moving. But the studio, they're going to boot me out of here if I don't get out of here. I'm sure the show on after me appreciates me taking the audience and keeping them into a digital format that does not require them to listen to the radio station. I'm sure they love that. So we should probably get out of the way so that the other shows can get some of your ear time as well. But if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. The holiday special is a great example of that. So we can build the computer at cost, right, for $14.99. That's what we charge for it. For $14.99, I can get an ADATA solid-state hard drive for $50 less than it costs to buy the Samsung, Western Digital, Kingston, or SanDisk drives. Those are the four that we'll use. That are, and we know this because we run the data recovery lab. Those are the four most reliable ones that also are the fastest. But we can get ADATA. Oh yeah, we can get the HK brand. HK, I guess, means Hong Kong. I don't know, but I don't know what it means. But hey, they're cheap. We can get those. There's all kinds of solid states that we can get that are way cheaper, but we don't do it. Again, accounting is looking at us like all it's got to do is last the warranty term. That's what every other computer manufacturer does on the planet. And here's the thing: we're not big. We're not huge like Dell. Dell's a privately held company now. We're not huge like Dell. We're a privately held company, but not like Dell. We're not, HP. We're not Asus. So why would we try to compete with those companies doing things the same way they do? Why would we try to compete with their strengths when we can compete with their weaknesses? So let's give levels of service that are unheard of anywhere else. And when those customers come to us and they buy a computer from us, the odds are they're going to get antivirus from us. They're going to get secure updated. They're going to have us transfer their data. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for us over the course of our relationship as a customer and a service provider for us to have a profitable interaction that allows us to keep the lights on and pay our people and raise our children and do all the things that people go to work every day to do. We don't need to do that whole job when we sell the computer. And that's what HP and Dell and everybody else does. They're there to sell you a computer. There's no ancillary services, really. So they're going to make the money when they sell the computer. For us, we're a service business that happens to sell computers. So when you come into Schrock and buy a computer, you're buying a machine, you're getting a relationship. Ooh, I should put that on a t-shirt. We could have them print it crooked, and then we could get 2 orders for free. Because if they're going to not make us ship these crooked ones back. And the crooked shirts, they wear just like the other ones. It still says 20th anniversary to me. Wait, we haven't actually sent them back yet. Maybe I shouldn't say this stuff on like a... can we rewind and edit that? No. All right, guys. Let's see if there's the last... Scroll down here one last time. I am too damn smart. Okay. Heckler and Koch SSDs. Yeah, no, they're not making those kind of SSDs yet. However, since we seem to be talking about guns on the AfterSchrock today, which probably isn't the best. See, there's things, you guys, when you're doing a radio show to get listeners, when you're going for ratings, ticking people off is amazing because people listen. They listen to see how you're going to be outraged next, right? When you're doing a show to support a business, ticking people off usually is not a good thing. So we don't talk about Donald Trump during the show. We save that for the AfterSchrock. We don't talk about guns during the show. We save that for the AfterSchrock. I saw a post yesterday about a new gun that was out that was the size. They said it's a credit card sized gun that you can fit in your wallet. Well, that's interesting. That's really interesting and weird. Let's take a look at that. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's Facebook link bait. So I look at it, and it's a gun. It's a half-inch thick. It's the shape. It's more like, it'd be more comparable to call it like a deck of cards, because it folds up and it fires a 22 bullet. There's no guard for the trigger guard or anything. You would not. It takes forever to set it up. You have to take it out of your wallet, unfold it, and it's a single action. You got to pull it back every time. Bang! You pull it back. You reload it. Bang! It holds 4 rounds, so 422s. I'm sorry, but if you're in a situation where your life hinges on the use of you having 4 22 caliber rounds, you're dead. You're dead. You just don't take it out. Don't just die with your wallet in your pocket. But then nobody seems to ask the obvious question. This is a half-inch thick credit card gun. Who puts a half-inch thick credit card in their wallet? That's a deck of cards. Who puts a deck of cards in their wallet? That's stupid. Come on. So it was Facebook link bait. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, that would be a. However, that would be smaller than the size of a desktop hard drive. All right. You have one of those, Russell? Do you keep it in your wallet? Oh, good. Daryl asking, good question here. This is actually really good, impressing. Daryl's asking, whatever happened to the KMTV Omaha Morning Blend? KMTV canceled the whole program. It cost a lot of money to put the Omaha Morning Blend on because they had the two personalities doing air talent. They had to pay a cameraman to operate the cameras during that. They had a producer that was producing the whole thing and organizing the guests and everything like that. And then you had to have somebody to operate the teleprompter and everything else. So literally it was like a 6 or 7 employee operation. You assume people in TV actually don't make a lot of money. So let's assume they're all making 30 to 50 grand a piece. You think that the TV talent's paid like, like Megyn Kelly money, but no, they're not. They're making 30 to 50 grand, especially the young ones when they start. But still, that's an expensive show to put on. Plus, you have all the operating cost and the expense of building a set and everything. Meanwhile, Scripps Media had this other show called Kelly and Ben. It was Kelly Pickler and Ben something that they produced themselves. And Scripps Media owns KMTV Channel 3 as well as HGTV, the Travel Channel, I think. I mean, they're a pretty big media conglomerate. So they have this Kelly and Ben show, and they're like, why are we paying? They had these little, it was like the Omaha Morning Blend, the Fort Lauderdale Morning Blend, the Las Vegas Morning Blend. Why did they have all these different individual shows where they were paying all these people all this money to do these local shows when they had this really good national show they could push through to all the channels? So that's what they did. The national show, I have not heard a single person that has said the national show was better than the show that was on, the Omaha Morning Blend show that was there before. Part of that is because I only hang out with people who were involved with the show. But the other part of it is, honestly, that show was successful and was interesting and fun because it was local. That's what made it what it was. It was local content about the local community and the charities and the people doing work to make the community better and the fun runs and the chili dog cook-offs in the parking lot. That's what made that show fun, is that it was happening right here in our community. You don't get that with Ben and Kelly. You get Dolly Parton, you get, Dierks Bentley, you get all these guys coming on the show and these big stars and stuff, but they're not local. They're not here. So we asked our media company. We have a Slate Advertising handles all of our media. So we're like, hey, we need to find another show like this because we have a whole section of our website dedicated to video. And right now, the only video we have is Thor in a T-shirt doing a radio show. Not super exciting. I could do dances and stuff. I could floss like Donald Trump, but it's not that exciting. And they looked and we couldn't find anything. Well, I got a call the other day because usually on presidential elections, we buy presidential election coverage from TV stations. So I got a call from Kay Wunderlich over at Channel 8 TV in Lincoln. And she said, hey, Thor, we know you normally buy presidential elections, but given the election this year, and Lincoln has a whole bunch of stuff on the ballot. There's mayoral term limits on the ballot. There's obviously watching how there's a lot of good local races that are going to have results that are not going to be covered on the national channels. So a lot of people in Lincoln are going to be watching Channel 8, Channel 10, 11 to get the local election result. So we bought an election package, so we'll have our name on the ticker. So if you're watching at a bar or something in Lincoln or at an election party and you see Schrock on the ticker, every time you see Schrock go by, you have to be like, compute this! If you do that, people are going to think you're weird, but if you get video of you doing it, I might give you something for free. For real. That'd be awesome. So it's going to be on the ticker, and then there's some billboards that pop up. Well, while she had me on the line, she said, we have this other thing, this afternoon show that we're doing, where basically the morning news anchors do the morning newscast, and then it's a news program where they're recapping the news from the morning, but intermixed with that they have guests. And I'm like, holy cow! So what you're telling me is the news anchors are going to do a show that I can appear on for a 3-minute segment where the news anchors will ask me questions about my product sandwiched between news stories that keep people watching. And the news anchors are going to do this, right? Because usually there's a huge wall of separation between news anchors and advertising. You don't get news anchors. If you remember watching The Blend, you know, Kayla, who produced it, she used to be in the in reporting, but she was not doing reporting while she was producing The Blend. Mary, when she was there, she used to do reporting. She was not doing reporting while she was doing The Blend. Mike DiGiacomo, I have no idea what he did. He was involved in a bunch of stuff too. Again, not doing reporting while I was doing The Blend. There was a wall there, and there is a wall still on Channel 8. It's very clear that this part is promotional. It's a commercial, if you will, even though we're going to have interesting content. So, good news is we have approved a deal. We've inked a deal for a year-long contract on that station to do that show. We just got to get it all straightened out when we're going to start and how much weight Thor needs to lose, because I've kind of let myself go since, you know, the Morning Blend has been off the air for a while, and Hy-Vee donuts are delicious. So, yeah. I'm wearing dear. This is the 2X shirt. They run a little small. I think the shirts are running a little smaller than the last run. Maybe. Anyway, so no, we're gonna have it's. We had 6 minutes for the Morning Blend though, so that's a 3-minute segment's a little tighter. So we're gonna have to be a little less, a little more concise and a little less boisterous. We had a lot of fun on the Blend, like making fun of the whatever they were doing before and stuff like that. Good. It was good transitional stuff. If you were watching the show, it really, and they appreciated it. It made the show flow really well between guests and marketing segments. And from a marketing perspective, I want the show to flow really well to the point where you can't tell it's a marketing segment. But no, we cover a lot of stuff, like we're going to tell people why their computers are running slow. And of course, we'll mention that we can put a solid state in. We're going to tell people why they're getting the latest computer infection and what it is. And of course, we're going to say endpoint secure updater. We're going to talk about holiday specials. Of course, we're going to talk about holiday specials. So, I mean, there is a marketing component of that because TV is very expensive. It's not free by any means. It's stupid expensive. Just running that ticker on the bottom of the screen is costing me $1,000 for one night. For a ticker. For our logo to be on a ticker. Yeah, so it's expensive stuff. So we don't do it very often, but when we can get a regular appearance like that once a week, where we can do a 3-minute segment, it's long enough for us to get a thought out, and, you know, and impactful enough that we can leverage it on social media, get it up on Facebook. So if you're not in the local Lincoln TV market, you will be able to see that. It's kind of like the trade-off, because for years people in Lincoln couldn't watch the Morning Blend. They had to wait to see it on Facebook. Now all of our Omaha and Papillion and Des Moines listeners are going to have to wait to see it on Facebook, because the people in Lincoln will get to see it live on TV. So it'll be kind of funny. So anyway, that's what happened to that show. Thank you for reminding me to talk about that, because as soon as we have viewing times and everything else, we're going to announce that as well here on the program. All right, so got to run, guys. Hey, Michaela's here. Michaela's awesome. Michaela is our babysitter. My wife and I have date nights on Fridays, and we sometimes we just hide upstairs and get work done that we can't get done when the children are at. You know, we have 3 kids, so they're getting at us. Or sometimes we just go out all day. We go out for like a movie. Like we saw Bohemian Rhapsody on Friday. Oh my gosh, that was an amazing movie. I would strongly recommend that you go see Bohemian Rhapsody. Even if you're not a Queen fan, there were songs I didn't even realize Queen wrote. I'm like, how do I not know this? What the heck? So yeah, it was a great movie. I mean, it's going to win some awards. It was good. But yeah, we can't go out and do those things without Michaela watching the kids. So Michaela, welcome to the program. Glad to have you, and thank you for watching the kids and knocking Katie out with the Trolls soundtrack. It gets old sometimes, the Trolls soundtrack, the Justin Bieber action, but she likes it, so it gets the job done. All right, got to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining us on the program today. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you being Schrock customers, very much so. If you would do me the favor of liking and sharing the show, click the like button, share it with your friends, your family. It helps us spread the word about the program. And oh my gosh, if you have a moment, you have no idea how helpful Google, specifically Google reviews are. If you Google Schrock Innovations like Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, whatever city you're in, and then click on the review link, having those reviews, it influences the position of where we rank in the search engine. So when other people have just a broken computer and they're looking for some place to fix it, having those positive reviews means we rank higher, which means people find us. And when people find us, the most expensive thing that we do is customer acquisition. We could lower our prices if we had more customer acquisition at a lower cost. But yeah, that was one of the scary things. The inflation reports that are coming are looking pretty crazy too. And I can tell you firsthand, it is impossible to find technicians in Lincoln right now. even at ridiculous pay rates. It is impossible. So we're starting to feel that labor crunch as well, and we're paying our employees a little more because of it. So yeah, we're going to try to keep those prices down. So anything you guys can do to help keep those prices down would be great. So if you could review us on Google specifically, I would very much appreciate it. It means the world to us. Thanks for joining us on the program, guys. We'll see you again next Sunday for another edition of Compute This and the AfterSchrock. We'll see you then, guys.